Got our official sponsor, Greenwood Stock Trading. If you want to learn how to make some passive income, some extra money, so you can invest in your future and your kids' future, give them a call for a free 10-minute consultation, 281-760-3170. Go get to the bag. All right, man, let's talk about Chris Colbert kind of copping out the Frank Martin fight, saying that if the Frank Martin fight going to happen, it got to happen at 130 pounds. So apparently he know what it is, man. I'm pretty sure that's kind of gonna be his caveat, the Doug Rayo rematch. Even though I think he said he'd give Rayo a rematch. Hector Luis Garcia said he need to give Rayo a rematch before he give him a crack at the WBA title, which he won't be holding too much longer anyway. Um, but Culver says he's still willing to face Frank Martin, but only at 130 pounds. So I mean, yeah. So Colbert's visually dependent following his loss at the hands of Hector Luis last year after sulking for months on an end. Colbert 17-1-6 dusted himself off and began preparing to make his return. Although 130 is filled to the brim with talented fighters, I think man isn't, in my opinion. Colbert opted to test himself in one division higher. Ultimately, before making the move, the flamboyant Brooklyn native, highly ranked 135-pound contender Frank Martin began tussling verbally when the two agreeing to settle their differences in the ring. Colbert wishes there were never placid as he was forced to go another direction. He said on May 25th, MGM Grand, Colbert successfully made his transition to lightweight division. Greeting him at the door was Jose Venezuela Rail. While the power difference was obvious from the beginning, Colbert bounced back from a rocky start by winning a close unanimous decision. Uh, Having felt what it was like to face a much larger man, Colbert didn't appear to be a fan of doing so. Still, despite publicly admitting that he'll scurry back to the super featherweight division, Colbert dares Martin to follow him 5 pounds south. He said, "Quote, I'm not fighting at 35. I'm not fighting at 35," said Colbert to a group of reporters and asked if he'll face Frank Martin next. I'm going back down to 30. So if you want to come down, let's get it rocking. But I'm not staying at 35. I'm going to my weight. Um, Martin by and large enjoyed a fruitful 2022, capped off a stellar year, and the 28-year-old secured a lopsided victory over Michelle Rivera. At the moment, Detroit Product has no intentions of moving down in weight. Instead, Martin is fully convinced that the world title shot is within reach. He said, if for whatever reason Martin changes his mind and acquiesces to his rival's weight demand, Cole reveals that he'll be more than willing to take him on. He said, "Let's tango. I'm ready to dance. I don't duck and dodge nobody. I just learned how to dance and dance salsa too, so I'm ready." So obviously, obviously he know better. You know what I'm saying? We know better. He ducking, man. He don't want that fade. He tried out 135, and you see how Rayo Venezuela did him. Um, I just think he too cocky for his own good, and I think that money hit his head, man. What JC said, he said my mind was fine till the dough hit it. He told my mind that the Mo did it or whatever he said. So a lot of gems are reasonable doubt, but I mean, yeah, I mean, shit, he knew better, and he might not be shit there. So what happens when you don't keep a prospect active? That's what happened when he don't get the reps. That's what happens when he get money too soon. When you ain't in the starvation mode, where you starving. When you got to struggle, and that's the beauty of any. That's something that you can't mimic. When you got billionaires and millionaires, people say, well, why ain't some of these superstar athletes kids as much as good as them? I mean, that hunger part of growing is different, bro. It's a different beast. When you got to struggle, when you working a 9 to 5, and you working on building a brand or building a business or building a product or learning to invest or trying to create multiple revenue income, and you don't know you don't know if this gonna work out, and you got to make it work, and you grinding, and sometimes you don't know where your next meal gonna come from, or sometimes you might be losing your job. You like, damn, what the fuck I'm gonna do? And that type of hunger builds character, like it or not. You know what I'm saying? And it builds, it builds stronger minds. Like, okay, man, damn, you think, oh man, I had a great job or a good job, you know, I was getting money, whatever. They clipped me. Shut up, Minnie. They clipped me. And now, oh man, I'm fucked up. But now, next time I know, all right, man, I gotta put this amount of money up. you know what, I got to create multiple streams of revenue, and I got to do my own thing, whatever it is. Selling, selling plates, if it's creating an idea, if it's, taking a hobby and trying to monetize it through social media, if it's giving advice, if it's, buying off Alibaba and selling it to people, if it's getting into the lash, the weave game, whatever it may be. Some people got to knock their heads a couple times. You know what I'm saying? But that hunger is something you can't mimic. You just that part of life, you got to go through it. It's like locks. I was hearing people, somebody talking about locks at the beauty store, and they were saying, beauty supply. They were saying you just got to go through the ugly phase of locks. Sometimes you might have a formal event you got to go through, and you got to just rock it like that. And that's just what the part of life is, man. You put so much effort into somebody, a significant other, somebody you with, and they just decide one day that it just ain't for them no more. You know what I'm saying? And now you back at ground zero with everything. Next time, you know what? I got my own shit. I ain't moving in with nobody. I'm always keep my own shit. Whoop-de-whoop. This is why you see 40-year-old, 35-year-old, 50-year-old people think a lot different. They didn't went through it. They didn't knew better. And I can tell somebody, hey, yo, you can tell Colbert, like, yeah, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. But he going to just experience the failure. He didn't get to go through that ugly phase of, where he motivated, he grinding, he thirsty, he hungry to get a belt and get championship level money. It was given to him off rip. And credit to him for negotiating and having a team around him. But that's gone. Once you don't have that hunger no more, it's hard to get back. It's hard. It's hard to prime up the lawnmower in December. When you ain't primed it in months and it's cold as hell. It's hard to get that whole started. It's gonna be hard for him to restart his motor, bro. His career is not gonna pan out like they thought it was, and that's part of the reason he got the decision, because how much money they got invested in him. But he ain't gonna fight Frank Martin. He knows it's a bad matchup. He don't have to say it. What people were saying. In his mind he was saying. And even at 35, can he get a belt there? He got to totally rededicate himself, and it's probably best they get him out of New York, somewhere where he could just focus, somewhere remote, where it's just boxing. And him being honest with himself, I'm not a puncher. I need to work on just going in and out, throwing combinations, and not trying to sit there and exchange with guys and, use angles, use my speed, get in and out. And that's what I need to work on. He got to find himself. He got to find hunger. He got to find solace. He got to find a place that's remote where he can just worry about nothing but boxing and nothing but him, becoming the man that he need to be in and outside the ring. But he's not gonna do that. Too much money, too much power right now. This is what happen when you. This will happen when you cheat the process. You accelerate the process, even though you got the money. You know what I'm saying? But you forget a few ingredients an apple pie tastes totally different. You miscalculate a few ingredients, or you miss some things out of a pound cake, a 7-Up cake. Guess what? The cake ain't gonna be. It's gonna be flat. It's gonna be nasty. You can tell baking is precise, and this is what this process is in boxing. Is baking. It's the reason why you go through. You fight the easy guys, and then you move up. You just you're moving up. You want a world title. You want to make world title money. That's what motivates you. And when you get the world title money, you get the world title. Guess what? You want to maintain the world title money. You want to defend the world title. When it's time to move up, prove to people you can do it again. Keep getting more money. Keep pushing the envelope. And guess what? You give somebody when you skip a few steps of the process, you give it to them too soon. This is what you get. This is what you get. They could have used a brash, flamboyant talker, a guy that could really deliver. But he don't worry about his craft no more. He worried more about Kraft macaroni and cheese and his craft. And they called him in December and said, well, let's fight Frank Martin. And, Frank Martin, people say, Coach said he wasn't ready. He wasn't in shape. Why wouldn't you? You lost. You should be in the gym every day. Probably best to get him out of New York City. So we know what it. I just think he's gonna be a what if story. It's gonna go down as one of them overrated prospects out the amateurs like Fernando Guerrero, Audrey Harrison. I mean, you can go on, and that's the list he's gonna be on, unfortunately, And I don't have no ill will like the kid. Thought he was gonna be pretty good, but he ain't got it. And what he ain't got, it ain't talent. It ain't flamboyance. It ain't. He got all the ingredients to be a superstar in boxing. The hunger's gone, and leave it to Al Heyman. Al Heyman to be the culprit in that. So hopefully he's saving his money. Hopefully he got a backup plan, which he got chicken businesses and all that type of stuff. And when he said that, this wouldn't do a do or die fight with Rail Venezuela, let you know where it's mine. And he said, well, Tevin Farmer lost a few of his fights, and it ain't over for me if I lose this fight. That's to let you know it should have been do or die. You had to say it publicly. He didn't fight like it was do or die. He fought like somebody that's totally comfortable with their lifestyle if it don't work out. And that's part of the hunger process. Like, damn, I don't want to go back to community college, or I don't want to go back to the hood without a belt, or, I don't want to go back to my situation. You have like, what, 6, 7 brothers, sisters, something like that. But when you financially good, regardless, it ain't do or die. And that back against the wall phase of when you building yourself, it's got to happen. In boxing, at some point in life, every great entrepreneur, every person that's doing well off and that's secure, even if they lose their job, they went through it. Like, damn, if this shit don't work, man, if they walk in today, I'm done, and I ain't got no backup plan or no life. They say it's like I can't remember the percentage, but it's a large amount of Americans who don't have $500 saved up. If something happened, they wouldn't have $500 to touch of their own money. And these percentage of Americans was married couples and all types of stuff. So that's dangerous. They tell you when you start investing, you want 3 to 6 months, and some people believe 6 to 12 months of income saved up, and that's fine. Go move how you want to move. Go take chances. Because guess what? Now you can take chances. If something happened, I got a year income. Just get me back on my feet. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So let me know what you girls and guys think. Check out the Box News playlist. Thumbs up the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance. Get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel? Cash App, $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link in description. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.